So today's shir is the Ilu Nishmat.
Eliezer David Ben Leib.
Eliezer David Ben Leib. I'm sure we should have an Aliyah. And we should hear good news. We should have a Feilach and Purim. All those who need a salvation in whatever way, our brothers and sisters, Hashem should bless them and take care of them. Okay. I don't know if this is going with sound or not. You know, it's being broadcast on YouTube also. I mean, on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go on Facebook now.
I've seen you, but I didn't know they were live.
Yeah, also live, yeah.
Also YouTube live?
YouTube is also live, yeah. But it's just that it says something about video only, so I hope that there's sound too. Okay. So we were, we got up to page 202. Yeah, the line that begins with Yerushalayim. Third paragraph, page 202. Yerushalayim.
We did that paragraph. For the next paragraph.
I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
Yerushalayim היא העיר של אהבה אינסופית. Yerushalayim is the city of infinite love. כל בה אינסופי, everything there is infinite. התורה שבכתב שניתנה today. Oh, we're back on the air. Okay. Trying to reconnect. Good. We're all trying to reconnect, right?
Right.
Okay, so כשהקדוש ברוך הוא הבטיח לאברהם אבינו את ארץ ישראל, when God promised the land of Israel to Abraham, הוא אמר ונתתי לך ולזרעך אחריך, I will give it to you and to your children following you. כל הפרשנים שואלים, all the commentators ask, אם הקדוש ברוך הוא נתן את הארץ לאברהם, if God gave the land to Abraham, האם לא ברור שהיא גם לבניו? Is it not obvious that it's also for his children? אלא התשובה היא שהקדוש ברוך הוא אומר, the answer is that God says as follows, אם אני אתן את זה להורים, if I give it just to the parents, הם יגרמו לזה להיות סופי. The parents are going to end up making it something finite. אבל הילדים יכולים להפוך את זה לאינסופי, but the children can turn it into infinite. בדור שלנו במיוחד, in our generation especially, כדאי מאוד להקשיב לילדים, it's very worthy to listen to our children. היינו מבינים איך כל סנטימטר בארץ ישראל הוא אינסופי. Our children understand how every centimeter of Eretz Yisrael is infinite. Shekol rega be'Eretz Yisrael hu ein sofi. Every moment in Israel is infinite. HaKotel HaMaravi hu ben hachomot haktanot ba'olam. The Kotel is one of the smallest walls, historical walls in the world. Aval ra'item pam choma sherosha magia hashamayma. Have you ever seen a wall the top of which reaches heaven? Shemagia l'olam ha'emet, which reaches the world of truth. Kemo haKotel HaKadosh, like the Holy Kotel. So, right, a lot of this lesson in Purim has been about getting in touch with your inner essence, right? And he spoke about Shalach Manis in that connection. He spoke about Matanot Levyonim in that connection. And now he's speaking about the same thing, but from a different perspective, when he's speaking about Yerushalayim as being the city of infinite love, and Eretz Yisrael is infinite. And then he says an amazing thing. He says Hashem promised Eretz Yisrael to Avram and to his seed, to his children. So the question is, if he's giving it to Avram, is he not giving it to his children? And the answer that he gives is that because if he would give it to the parents alone, they would end up making it into something finite, right? And you take a look, right? Take a look at the majority of the people making Aliyah, besides me and you, are
the children.
Are the younger people, right? They're the ones that we got to pay attention. They realize that Eretz Yisrael is their awareness of Eretz Yisrael as being infinite is more than the older generation. Reb Shlomo once said he was in a hotel here in a spa, and this woman says to him, "We have the Kotel, we have the King David, we have a spa. What do we need Mashiach for? We have all that, right?" So here too, Mashiach, the aspect of infinity, the aspect of everything being infinite, right? The people who sense that are the ones who mamish want Mashiach already. See, a lot of people say, "I want Mashiach because things are not so comfortable right now, and I want all this discomfort to be over with," right? But then there's the level of, I want Mashiach because I want the world to be I want that infinite good, that infinite love, all that infinite wonderful stuff that has been promised to us. The stool is here.
I'm just crossing today.
When you said Yerushalayim and Israel are Ein Sof, and then you said the whole world, so
and then when Mashiach is going to come, it's going to expand. It's going to expand to the whole world.
I don't know what infinite means. I don't even think.
I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean finite.
I was going to say I don't understand it. I don't think I'm capable.
Well, there's a lot of.
I don't think I'm capable of understanding it either.
Right, because you're living in a world of finitude.
But I want to understand a little bit more.
So good. The fact that you understand that it's not finite is already getting closer, and it's not like you get it one time. You just have to keep on going and further, because each level of understanding is the ground level for the next level of understanding.
I'm also not sure I understand what Shlomo is referring to. Is that understanding of it?
Well, let's give a simple example. A simple point. Do you know any other people who were in exile for 2,000 years and never gave up the dream of coming home?
No.
No. Okay. So that itself is an indication of the Ein Sofiyut of Yerushalayim. It's an infinite connection. Who go to New York, ask the Italians if they're dreaming about going back to Italy.
Which sounds a little bit to me like limitless, without limit.
That's a synonym.
Similar to that.
It's a synonym. What you just said is a synonym.
Also, its importance is so that it's beyond anything that can
Beyond
describe.
what you know this far,
What-
for sure.
Beyond what I can describe or even understand.
Beyond what you understand at this moment.
Absolutely.
Good. So, now he's giving the same teaching now from another perspective. There's a halacha that when you're listening to the Megillah, you have to hear every word. If you miss one word, you have to hear the whole thing again. Okay. That's why in a lot of shuls, they make a point of announcing, watch the children and also control yourself with Haman, because it might cause somebody not to hear all of it, and they would have to then go find another reading.
Also, they repeat the words that were drowned out by the sound, by the noise.
If they should,
Yeah,
they should. Not every shul does that. Okay. So the question is, when you're listening to the Torah reading on Shabbos, you should listen to every word. But if you didn't hear every word, you don't have to go back and reread it. Why with the Megillah do we have this halacha that you have to go back and hear it again? So he's explaining it as follows. He says, "Atem yodim im ata shomea kriyat Torah," second last line in 202. If you hear the Torah reading, v'atem mefasfes milah, and you miss a word, milah achat, even one word, ata lo tzarich lachzor v'likro shuv. You don't have to repeat and read it again. Aval b'Megillah, afilu im ata mefasfes, page 203, afilu im ata mefasfes rak havara achat, even if you miss a syllable, ata tzarich lachzor, you have to go back and read it again. So why is that? Because when you're talking about infinite, kol davar katan, every little thing is hu ein sofi. Every little thing is infinite. Understand this? When you're talking about infinite, so for example, let's take a line, a segment of a line. It could be divided into an infinite amount of parts. Okay? Part can be divided into an infinite amount of parts. Right? Today they're breaking down seconds into picoseconds. You know how much a picosecond is? A billionth of a second. And they can measure it. 1 second in a billion parts. And they're already going further to a trillion also. Okay? Each bit has an aspect of infinite. So when you're listening to the Megillah, which is all about infinitude, so every little part
So you can't miss
is also infinite, and therefore you have to hear all of it. If I'm reading a regular letter, I skim the letter quickly. And I can understand what they want, even without reading every word. But when I get a love letter, I don't want to miss anything.
Oh, it's such a beautiful connection.
Yeah, you got it? So you got it. Henry, do me a favor before you sit down. Ask my wife to please make me a cup of coffee. Thank you. Right? That's the same thing in different words. So Reb Shlomo always used to refer to the Megillah as Hashem's love letter to us.
Not the Torah.
The Torah is also, but it's different. The Torah is like it's a certain number of words, a certain number of letters, and so on. There's a difference. That's he was explaining the halacha that so the Megillah also has a certain number of words, right? And he's explaining the halacha that why Megillah, if you miss a word, you have to go back.
So
Yeah.
Can I connect this to the discussion? Is Esther a sefer, a book, or is it a Megillah? Is it a Garrett, or is it a
It's
like
a
a letter?
Garrett, yeah.
It's much more personal.
Yeah.
Book is more objective. This is more subjective.
So, רגיל, אני לא שומע את קולו, we're on page 203. It's about 6 lines down. במכתב רגיל, אני לא שומע את קולו של הכותב מתוך הטקסט. In a regular letter, I don't hear the voice of the one who wrote the letter from within the words. אבל אתם יודעים למה שם השם לא מוזכר במגילה? Now here's another thing about the Megillah. The Megillah doesn't have God's name in it. The Megillah doesn't have it. And what else doesn't have it? Shir HaShirim, right? And Eicha, I'm not sure. So why is it that God's name isn't in the Megillah? Well, the obvious answer is because God is so concealed, right? In the story of Purim. So he says like this, he gives a different answer. He says, "Ki ani yachol lishmoa mitoch hamilim et kolo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu," because I can hear from within the words, I can hear God's voice. Did you put it around the screen? So because I can hear God's voice from within the words. Misaper li et sipur HaMegillah. I can hear Hashem telling me the story of the Megillah when it's being read. So his name doesn't need to be there because Hashem is reading the Megillah. Right? אני יכול לשמוע את קולם של כל היהודים שקוראים את המגילה. I can hear the voice of all the Jews who are reading the Megillah. וגם את קולם של כל הילדים שמרגישים כששומעים את המילה המן. And I can also hear the voice of all the children who are making noise when the word Haman is read. כשקוראים את המגילה, when the Megillah is being read, אני יכול לראות את הפנים החמודות והעיניים הזוהרות של כל הילדים. I can see the beautiful faces and the shining eyes of all the children, כשהם נותנים משלוח מנות איש לרעהו, when they're sending shalach manos to each other. את המגילה, when I hear the Megillah, אני יכול לשמוע את צעדיו של המשיח. I can hear Mashiach's footsteps. ואני יכול לשמוע את כל העולם באים לירושלים, and I can hear the whole world coming to Yerushalayim.
Mashiach's footsteps?
Yeah. Here, this last paragraph has just been just awesome. כולם יודעים שהמן אמר ליהודים, everybody knows that Haman said to the Jews, נגמרו ה-70 שנה של הגלות, the 70 years of exile are over, בוודאי לא תחזרו עוד לירושלים, and it's obvious that you're not going back to Yerushalayim. האמת היא שהוא טעה, but the truth is that he made a mistake. כי הוא היה אמור לספור את השנים מחורבן הבית, ולא מהשנה שהגלו, ולא מהשנה... Pull up another chair. Come in. Shalom Aleichem. Come look in. David, come see. I'm glad you're here. You're left of us, right? Okay. Saw your uncle this morning.
John Rothman?
Yeah. You see him every day.
Oh, yeah?
He teaches now yeshiva. Kanai Nahara, a big Talmud Chacham. And the guys love him like crazy. He's such a good teacher. Good. So, Kulam Yodim, everywhere in the last paragraph on 203. Everybody knows Shaman Amar Yehudim. Say hi to your mother.
Shalom.
Okay. כולם יודעים שהמן אמר ליהודים, everybody knows that Haman said to the Jews, נגמרו ה-70 שנה של הגלות ובוודאי לא תחזרו עוד לירושלים. Because according to his calculations, the 70 years were over. We were supposed to be, according to the prophet, we were supposed to be in exile for 70 years. And according to his calculations, the 70 years were over, and we didn't go back yet. So he concluded that we're never going back. But the mistake is that he made the truth is that he made a mistake. כי הוא היה אמור לספור את השנים מחורבן הבית ולא מהשנה שהגדו את צדקיהו. Haman was counting from the years that Tzidkiyahu
was a king.
Was exiled, and he should have been counting from the years of the destruction of the actual destruction of the temple. ועוד יבוא יום אחד שבו ויסעו כל לעבדיך. The prophet will eventually come, that the day will come that everybody is going to come to serve Hashem, v'yivachu Shem kvodecha, they will bless your glorious name, v'yitnu lecha keter melucha, and they will crown you with the crown of kingship. You know the Nigan? Yes, you call le'avdecha Yahweh. Yivachu Shem kvodecha, That's it, right? Okay, so let's try to visualize that. Try to visualize all the nations coming to Yerushalayim, all our children coming home, all our friends, our brothers and sisters. And, we say every day, 3 times a day, it's Kav Shofar Gadol, sound the great shofar, and we lift the banner to gather back, to gather all the exiles, right? Blessed are you, God, who gathers together all the scattered Yidden who got pushed away. So it happens to be that there's if you believe in coincidence, you're making a mistake. It's not coincidence. It's not that just things just happen. It's not. Yes, it is coincidence. Things happen at the same time, right? But it's not by chance. Okay. So in today's Tanya portion, which is chapter 32, the Alter Rebbe discusses, and it's connected to what we're learning here on Purim. The Alter Rebbe discusses the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael, loving your fellow Jews. Okay? And the question, we've raised the question a number of times in the past, how many people do you love? 5, 6, 10, 12, and most, go into any room, 100 people, 200 people, you're not going to even find 10% that say, I love 10 people. So the question is, well, how can we achieve this mitzvah of Yahavta l'reacha kamocha, right? Which means you got to love every one of your brothers and sisters, every one of them, right? Every one of them. So how can you achieve that? Is it just an exaggeration, or is it realistic? Reb Shlomo once said a beautiful thing. He said, "Who is this reacha?" You have to look at who is that? You know who it is?
It can be a man's wife because on the wedding invitation it says V'i Yisrael, no?
Okay. Re'it Rayato, it says. Rayacha, that's another pshat. That's another pshat. But the practical pshat that Reb Shlomo gave us is the person that you're next to right now. Right? The person that's sitting next to you on the bus, the person that's sitting next to you right here in this room. Right? You have to look, come on, for you, it's you, man. Okay? So, but how are you to achieve that? You know, this is, it's not a positive thing, you know, it's going to be, there's a chair right over here. It's waiting for you. It started to make noise already, saying, where's David? Yeah, we're saying, where's David? Where's David?
Okay.
Everyone loves David.
Huh?
Because everyone loves David.
Yeah?
The mother loves you.
So the Alter Rebbe is discussing, how do you achieve Ahavat Yisrael towards every one of your fellow Jews? So he says like this. Is there a difference between one person and another person? Are there differences between us? Yes. Even starting from my toenails and up, I have a different body than you do. I like spicy, you like sweet. I like this kind of music, you like that kind of music. On this level, this one learns on that level. There are different neshamot. There's a neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu, there's a neshama of Aaron Kohen, there's a neshama of Reb Shlomo Carlebach, you know, Olav Shalom. And there's your neshama and your children's neshamas, right? And everyone is, in a certain sense, unique. Now, so how are you going to love? So how are you going to come to love everybody equally? You know, equally. Who was it? Well, there was one tzaddik, maybe the Baal Shem Tov, or no, it was somebody later, one of the early Hasidic masters. It bothered him terribly that he heard that a child got hurt, and he was relieved that he found out that it wasn't his kid, and it bothered him tremendously that we have the same love for that other child. Right? But that's the way we are, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? So why are we that way? Because basically we're focused on the reality as we know it, or as we usually perceive it, which is I'm I and you're you. You heard about there was 9 Mishnagim sitting with one chassid, and all that was left on the plate was one piece of herring. And the light went out. And all of a sudden the chassid screams, and the lights come back on. He's got 9 forks stuck in his hand. He was faster, but not fast enough. He didn't get out of there in time. Okay? But there's one piece of herring left, you know. Who's not going to grab for it, right? Okay? This chassid comes into the house of this other person, and he has 2 cookies on the plate, a big one and a small one. So he says, help yourself. So he says, no, you go first. So he says, no, help yourself. So the chassid goes and picks up the big one. He says, you're such a low life. Why didn't you take the small one? So he says, because if you would have gone first, what would you have taken? You would have taken the small one, right? So you got the small one. So what's your problem? Right? Okay. So, seriously speaking, if you would take the time, and we should all be blessed to take the time, and sit down and start meditating and think deeply about, so is this who I am, me and my body and my stomach? You know, that's me. That's me, and your body, and so you're bigger than me, right? Yeah. So you know, or am I The person who knows 5 words of Torah and you know 10 words of Torah, yeah, so you're bigger than me, right? But we're not back at the roots of our being. If you take the time to meditate and go back to the root of your being, go back to the awareness that there is a creator who is creating you right now and creating me, created you, everything that's in existence. Okay? And everything that's in existence it's a manifestation of Hashem's will manifesting in myriads, multi-millions, billions of different ways. Okay? But taking, for example, physical matter, go down to its smallest parts, everything is molecules. Now, when you're eating a salad, I wouldn't suggest that you shake some dust onto it and say, oh, it's just molecules, on top of molecules. It's not going to taste the same as if you put some salt, okay? But back at its source, right, it's all coming from the one. Back at the source of my neshama, and at the source of your neshama, at the very source, we are one. We are all part of the same one. So long as I think of myself disconnected or without being aware of my connection to my source, so then I'm I and you're you. Maybe I'll like you, maybe I won't like you. If you're going to laugh at my jokes, then I'll like you. You laugh? Not like that. Okay? Right? If you make good food and you give me a ride, yeah.
Right.
That's really what that's all about is really that I love myself. And you happen to make me feel good, so I love you. But it's not really I love you. I love myself, right? But if I can learn to recognize and to be conscious of the fact that really all this whole world, me, and we're garnished, we're nothing, we're just here because Hashem is literally creating us instant by instant, okay? And that this is His will to live in this physical world with that consciousness of Torah and mitzvahs, to elevate all my physical reality into that consciousness of the one, right? So then you stop seeing yourself as being separate from everybody else, and you see the other person as being part of the one, just as you are. And in fact, even that if you don't, then you're not really in the one. At least you're not really consciously in the oneness of Hashem. Because the Shekhinah dwells only in a complete vessel. It doesn't dwell in a defective vessel. No matter how small the defect is. Okay? That's the way it is. But it's not enough to just be able to speak about this and to speak about it intellectually. The whole point of meditation, the whole point of what's called in Chassidut, hitbonenut, means that the consciousness becomes so intense, it draws all your emotions into that consciousness. And it draws all your physical activity into that consciousness. It says by the Akkad, it says, "Vayishlach Abraham et yado." He commanded his hand to pick up the knife, because his hand was also so conscious of the oneness of Hashem. How could my hand possibly hurt somebody? There were tzaddikim that were never lifted their hands above their shoulders. You know,
Why?
because it's when a person picks up his hands like that, it's already it's an act of aggression of some sort.
Are you suggesting that this is in your will? That you can will
It's
this to happen?
you could. It's not just will. You know, I willed myself to pass my math test in grade 5 and I failed.
I mean, in terms of seeing the other person differently, like is this?
I'm just clarifying the point, okay? I can will myself to do it, but it's not just I will myself. I teach myself. I got to train myself to do it. It doesn't happen just because I want to.
I think in some sense.
Because when I say I want to, my animal soul says, and right now I want to have some pizza.
Right.
And my animal soul says, I want that piece of herring. And so my neshama says, but I want the other guy to have it. My animal soul says, listen, I'm driving the car.
I think you might be in some cases giving up my will.
The giving up my egotistical, self-centered will.
Right.
Yes.
And you have to feed your animal first.
You have to feed your animal, of course. You have to feed your animal. There's no question about it. You can't. The neshama can't live without the body.
Hashem created Adam. It seems to be this would be true for all human beings.
So
That we're all connected as human beings, not just the Jews.
yeah, but there still is a distinct family of souls that's known as Israel.
We separate
And if
from the
you're
other.
going to go, I'm going to remind you.
I understand. That's,
Okay.
that's our family, but
You can't argue about a fact. It's
I'm
a
not
fact.
arguing with it. I'm saying in addition to our family, there's the whole family of
We know that.
of all the children of Hashem.
We care about the world. We don't care just about ourselves. We care about the whole world. You remember a few years ago when they started with the boycott stuff, somebody put out a list. You want to boycott us? Here's a list of all the things you should boycott. There were hundreds of medications and technology and iPhone and all these things. Let me see all those boycotters throw their iPhones away. We care about the world. We contribute to the world all the time. But that doesn't mean I have to walk around saying I don't have my identity as a Yisrael. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. And I wasn't saying that we don't care about the world. Like when I hear comments like that, I know that people are thinking like, oh, but does that mean that you don't care about the world? Yes, we care about the world. Absolutely. And what's behind the anti-Semitism is that basically they're basically saying, can you care about us more? Can you bring us closer to Hashem?
Yeah, the Semites are saying that.
I'm saying behind the anti-Semitism, that the guy who's a Russia is a Russia. Haman was a Russia. But I'm saying, but what's behind it is that the world is crying out for us to be even better Jews. Okay, so when Alter Rebbe goes on to explain that when Hillel says to the convert that the Haftel Reyachel Kamoicha is the entire Torah, the Alter Rebbe explains that what Hillel is saying is the whole point of the Torah, all the mitzvahs and everything. The whole point is to get you to that consciousness where you're in the consciousness of the oneness of Hashem, and how all your brothers and sisters are in that same oneness, and that at the Shorish Neshama we are one. Okay, true that in the way we operate in this world, there's a Rosh Yeshiva, there's a Rebbe, there's a Tzaddik, and there's a bank thief. Understand? True. But at the Shorish, we're all one. And the whole point of the Torah is to get to that consciousness. The whole point of the mitzvahs, that we have foods that we eat and foods that we don't eat, and that we've got to watch the way we talk to one another, and that we've got to, give tzedakah, and that we've got to celebrate the holidays. All these mitzvahs and everything are to ultimately teach us how to elevate my animal soul, my animal existence, and raise it into the consciousness of the Nefesh Elikis, of the divine soul, and to be there. And for just to give you a simple difference between matan b'seiser, giving tzedakah without the poor person knowing who gave it, and without you knowing who got it, versus giving tzedakah, having your name up on the building. Now, if it's okay to have your name on the building. Other Rabbi, you want to buy a building for the yeshiva? Everybody is welcome. You understand? Even those out there, we're gonna need for Kanei up to 500 plus students. Okay, and you'll be the dean of music. Yes, Hashem. Yes, Hashem. Okay. So, and Henry will work on the architecture. Okay, with Judy. And okay, and everybody will have a part, but we need to learn so I was saying, so what's the difference? So if somebody needs to have their name on the building in order for them to be motivated to give tzedakah, good, that's the level that you're at, and give the tzedakah. Do it. You understand? Okay, but there is a higher level where the giver doesn't know the recipient doesn't know the one who gave it, right? So you see, these are different levels of consciousness. You understand? So here right now on this level, but the point is that as you grow in each mitzvah, you're going to a higher level of consciousness, right? And you're going in more into the one. See, there are times, for example, like, do you have to be conscious of the fact that your brain said to your hand, move? If you're healthy, you're not conscious of it, right? It's when chas v'sholem, if somebody lost their movement, they have to make huge efforts to reestablish it, right? When you're really in the consciousness of Hashem Echad, doesn't matter how much that homeless person smells. I want to hug him. Reb Shlomo was, right? Lubavitch Rebbe, doesn't matter to him how much effort and money is going to have to be spent to have Chabad houses all over the world. There are Yidden there, we're coming. And even before they have the budget. I'll end with this thing. Once I heard that the Chabad Shlichim got the bank manager, a Gentile somewhere in Australia, to say, I want Mashiach now. What's the story behind it? They had taken a loan. And they needed to sign guarantors. But they were missing one signature, so the Shlich wrote Mashiach. Anyway, they were... So there was a payment that was a little bit late. So the bank manager called them in, he takes up the loan agreement, and he says, who's this Mashiach? I want Mashiach now. Anyway, it's a true story. They paid. It's not that they didn't pay, but they were just a little bit late. I want Mashiach now. You understand? Okay, so
I got that one. I didn't get the one about all the hands on the herring, but I got this joke. I got this one.
The chassid was the misnagdim eat with a fork. The chassidim eat with their hands. So he grabbed for the herring, and they grabbed for it also.
In the dark.
In the dark.
You got it.
Okay. Okay, I got to end now because I'm getting a ride to the Shloshim. Okay, for Bracha Schwartz.
You want some more Shabbat?
Yes, somebody called. They had room for one person.
Oh, boy.
So again, your father's name?
Eliezer David
Eliezer David
Ben Leib.
Ben Leib. Shem Shem David, Bracha Elke Bas Yel Chana Kayin, Shem Shem David.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, we're reading.